So today is finally the day I get to take my DJI Mavic Mini for a really good test flight. So I've been wanting a drone for a very long time. Been drooling over the amazing footage I see from all my favorite creators on YouTube for a number of years now, but I really just couldn't justify spending a couple of grand on a drone that I might use every now and again and not really use professionally. So when the Mavic Mini came out, I was pretty interested in seeing what its capabilities were before I decided to actually go ahead and buy one. So I've watched all the reviews, I've seen heaps of test footage, and it looks pretty good for me. So while I would really love a more expensive drone that's going to have much better camera control, I think the Mavic Mini is going to do the job for me. So I received my Mavic Mini 13 days ago, and I had a bit of a false start when the remote controller would not work with my iPhone. I was a bit worried that it was my iPhone 11 Pro that was the issue, because it just kept on coming up with this message. But I took it into the DJI store and they tested my phone with their remote and there was no issues. And when they used their phone with my remote, there was still a problem. So they updated the firmware thinking that would fix it, but again, no luck. So I had to get a replacement remote controller. So that took a few extra days to come through, and I've had a fair bit of work on as well. So it's now 13 days since I actually received the Mini before I've had a chance to really take it for a flight. Now, I'm a complete and utter novice when it comes to drones. My experience so far has been about 3 minutes flying a Mavic Pro in a very windy day when I used one of my model's drones on a shoot at the beach. So that consisted of basically just me taking over controls to follow her up the beach for a few minutes. And then I gave it back to her and she landed it. And then when I did get the replacement remote controller for this guy, I took it up in the studio and just did a little test just to make sure everything was working. And so that is my total experience flying drones at this stage. So this is a totally new experience for me. So I'm keen to get my skills up so I can start using it a little bit more for some behind the scenes footage on shoots, etc. So I'm in the Numinbah Valley in the Gold Coast hinterland, as I had to come down to the Gold Coast yesterday to do a job, and I stayed at my brother's last night. It's a super hot day. If you're not aware, we've been having lots and lots of bushfires, and we're in a drought here in Australia. So the air is a little bit hazy. It's not too bad today, but it is stinking hot. So I'm keen to just give this guy a little bit of a flight and then head back to Brisbane to the studio and into the comfort of the air conditioning for some editing. I'll see how I go here this morning. On the way back, I might stop at Hinds Dam and just take it for a little spin around the shoreline there. I'm not confident enough to go straight to the beach and take it out over the ocean at this stage, so I want to get my skills up a little bit before that. So let's get into it. Let's get this guy up in the air and I'll take it for a little spin around this park. Now, there are a few more trees here than I remember there being in this park, so I'm going to have to be pretty careful. I'm not going to take it too far. Just take it up in the air and a little spin around. There's a creek nearby, I'll take it over that. So let's do it. Let's get this guy up in the air. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to do a compass calibration first. So let's start that up. Rotate aircraft. Calibration successful. Excellent. So pre-flight check. Return to home. I might push that up to 80 meters. I don't think any trees are going to be 80 meters tall around here. Max altitude, leave it at 100 meters. Max distance 510. That should be good enough. Alright, let's check our settings here. 2.7K, 25 frames a second, that's good. Takeoff permitted. Let's see, mode, I don't want it in S, I want it in Cine Smooth Slow Mo because I do not want to go too fast around here. All right, let's take her up.
Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Let's take her up a little. Well, there you go, the first little flight. It was a little bit restricting because of all the trees, but starting to get the hang of controlling it direction-wise, up and down, left and right, using the gimbal. So considering I didn't crash, I think that's a pretty good first flight for the Mavic Mini. So I might pack up here and I'm going to head back down to stop in at the dam and just see if there's a good spot that I can take off there, and we'll have another crack.